Nothing takes me back to my past quite like hearing that. With the reintroduction of the classic systems and me owning all the old games already, I wanted to take some time and talk to you guys about the PS1 games that I played the most. These are in no particular order. I'm going to do 6 instead of 5 because I always do 5. And I want to do something a little different, not just talk about stuff I like, but games that I actually just played the shit out of. Now, if you know me at all, you know that JRPGs are my favorite genre of game. So there are going to be a couple JRPGs in here. There actually is some other genre of games that I enjoy as well, and that I played a lot of as a kid. I'm doing PS1 because PS1 was the first system that I had, so it was the system that I actually played a ton of. I've played a lot of video games over the years, and I've owned a current console generation for every generation. These ones in particularly, I may have played more than any other game system in my lifetime though. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in, and I'm going to start with, let's just grab one. Final Fantasy Tactics. This game right here, the very first time I played it was when I first got my PlayStation. My mom, she rented it for me from PJ Video. It's a local video chain here in Indiana, northern Indiana. I had no idea what I was doing when I first got this game. Actually, the fact that I made it to the 3rd level blows my mind even to this day. It's not till years later actually that I ended up buying this for myself for $14.99, brand new. And this is not my original copy. That's sadly gone, like a lot of stuff, but this is a copy I've had a long time, since around PlayStation 1 times. So I remember getting stuck in the story, and the monsters in the non-story levels, they level with you, so you can keep leveling up past the story. That's one of the first games that I ever did that for. Classic JRPG, except this one's not a JRPG, it's a turn-based strategy game. But it still has RPG elements like leveling up. So I just out-leveled the story until I could get past it. I ended up maxing level at 99, and by the time I was done playing this game, the game counter for time, it said 999999, and it wouldn't go past that. I can't tell you exactly how many hours I put onto this game, and I've only ever played through it once, and it was back then. I would assume about 120 hours on this game right here. So that's Final Fantasy Tactics. Second game, it's going to be Resident Evil 3.
It all began as an ordinary day in September. An ordinary day in Raccoon City.
This game right here, I wouldn't have put a crazy amount of time on it if it wasn't for the mercenary mode actually. I played through this game a lot, beat it 8 times or so. My want to keep beating it came from the mercenary mode, because the mercenary mode you would get through certain parts, you had to survive, you had to make it from one point of the game to another in a timed manner using just whatever the characters had at their disposal to get money. So as far as you got in mercenary mode, if you played a new Resident Evil, it's the same concept. I think Resident Evil 3 did it better than the new ones do currently, but I maxed out everything, bought everything, and then played through the game with all the new costumes and guns that I would unlock through the mercenary mode. Definitely a better way to make unlockables by playing the game more than loot boxes or microtransactions, in my opinion. This is not my original Resident Evil 3 either. Brandon Long, if you're watching this, you stole my Resident Evil 3. I had to rebuy this. I only paid $10 for it the second time around, but I do like owning my originals. I just don't. But this next one, I do own. This is my original. It's Threads of Fate. I don't know what was it about this game that I loved so much as a child. It's crazy to look at now. If you put it in, I put it in to play it as an adult, and the graphics are nuts. The backgrounds are just hues of bright blue, just spinning and churning. It's a great game. One of them could transform into animals. I believe it was Rue. Yeah, Rue could transform into animals, and I believe there was many different endings too, if I remember right. and you kept leveling after each level. So I just kept going with this game. I would keep playing it until I'm pretty sure I maxed everybody out, and then I would just dominate my way through the game. But I can't tell you how many hours I put into this, but it was definitely more than 40. I'm not sure. I'll have to see if I still have my original save. I still have my original memory card, so I should still have that save. I'm gonna leave the two that I know I played the most for the last two. But next one's gonna be Xenogears. Xenogears was a game that my buddy Ben let me borrow when we were, I don't remember, it was 98, so we were 11. He let me borrow it right after he got it, and I played it for, I don't know, a week or so before he was like, give me that game back. He never meant for me to keep it. I was just so into it, I made him let me borrow it, and then once he took it back, that was all I bugged my mom for I believe she ended up buying it for me for Christmas. But she's like, what do you want? And I'm like, Xenogears, that's all I want. I want Xenogears, give me that game. Because it's one of those games that never really went down in price because they didn't make a ton of them, or at least they weren't available here in rural nowhere Indiana at the time, because stuff wasn't, you know, something like that was very specific to me as a consumer that not everybody wanted to enjoy. So I believe it was $65 when my mom bought it. It was like $5 more than the normal price. But I played all the way through the game, loved it, had no fucking idea what it was about, had to go kill God or whatever. You know, I know the plot now, but back then at 11 I probably had no idea what was going on. I ended up replaying this game 8 times, and it's a JRPG, so each playthrough was probably 50 hours at least. I have recently, as of I think it was last year, I actually ended up making an Instagram friend replaying this game on Twitch. I only got through half of disc 1 before I gave up again. I got all the way to Rico. So, but yeah, Xenogears, great game. The last two, as you can tell by my list being, let's see here, we've got, these are almost all JRPGs. Number 2. Parasite Eve. Me and Ben are currently replaying Parasite Eve. We are almost done actually. We're on disc 2. We're on day 5, I believe. We need to keep going. It's been a few weeks already since we played again. Parasite Eve is one of those games where it has, after you beat it the first time, it has a secret level called the Chrysler Building that allows you to just max out hours on this to get through it. The Chrysler Building, when I was a kid in junior high, was like this pinnacle of gaming that nobody thought they were gonna ascend to. And my buddy Ben gave me his save that he had played a lot on. Back in the day you could transfer saves, copy to memory cards, and he had an almost maxed out gun and then like some kind of okay armor. I took that gun and armor and I beat that game 30, 40 times and just kept, because you get points that you can dump into a gun into armor stats, and it's 999 to max out everything. I had the gun, all 3 of their stats at 999, and then the armor was at like 5, 4, and 3 for their stats. And the armor stats, I don't remember what they were, but it was like blocking, magical, blocking, physical, you know, normal stuff. It took that much for me to actually end up beating the Chrysler Building And because it's 100 floors, and each floor is just massive. I loaded up my save, not even that long ago, less than a month ago, and was like, let's go look at the Chrysler Building. I haven't seen it in years. And I went in just one level. I was like, man, I can't believe that I went through all 100 levels of the patience I had as a child. I beat that, told all my friends. They really didn't believe me. Had my memory card saved to prove it, and I'm a living legend because of that right there. I was just talking to my friend Cole about it too, and he said he's never beat the Chrysler Building. I don't know if Ben did. I'll have to ask him. Parasite Eve, number 2. Tons of hours. Over 250 hours. Last but not least, obviously a classic, Final Fantasy VII. I beat this game 11 times. Each time, obviously, I think probably the fastest I've ever done it was like 40 hours or so. It's crazy because I've seen people speedruns and they'll beat it in like 8 hours. The lowest level I ever beat this game was level 64. I beat the ultimate weapon, the ruby weapon, and beat the game at level, I was 64 by the time I was done with all of it. And that was, you know, around the 8th or 9th time when I was still a kid beating it, and I was just able to do everything because I knew exactly what to do for every fight. Kill 2 of your party members, have Cloud start out with Omni Slash, ruby weapon, that was the harder one. Have Cloud start with the Omni Slash while the other 2 are already dead, and then just Bahamut Zero him 4 times. If he freezes, hit him with Knights of the Round, and normally that's it, if I remember it. It was a really easy fight, and then Emerald Weapon was a really easy fight too, because you just hit him with Knights of the Round, Quad Magic, and then have Mime on 1 or 2 other people, I don't remember. But you just Knights of the Round the fucker, take an hour and a half to fucking kill him, and that was it. And that was before the internet, so I had to figure that stuff out on my own. But yeah, those are the games that I played the most of in PS1. If you asked me to do a top 5 video, some of those games would be in it as well. So clearly, games I enjoy, I played a lot of. Thanks for watching. It's fun just to talk about video games sometimes. Trying to communicate with the camera like I'm communicating with friends, and I hope you feel that. I like talking to people about my passions, even if it's to myself, it seems, I guess. Hope you enjoy. If you like this video at all, give me a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. If you have any suggestions for videos, if you want to hear me talk about anything, I've been gaming since regular Nintendo. I'm an old man, so I've got experiences in almost every genre, every system. I own 36 video game systems, so I've played a lot of everything. Leave me a comment and I'll respond to you, and thanks for watching.